Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is a Sunday Night Live, but it couldn't have worked out more perfect because Game of Thrones finally gave us some real information. I talked about this before with the last 2-second bit that we got. We've been starving in the desert of no television fun, and they finally give us a cracker that we know when it's happening. It's something like, what is it, 90 days or something till April? I don't know if I'm doing my math right. Math isn't my high point, but we do have a release date. We got a cool little teaser trailer thing. Well, we'll see what Joe thinks about it in a minute, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's similar to what we got last year or a couple of years ago now, with the hall. Walking inside the house in black and white and seeing all the faces and stuff. Kind of a teaser just to release it. It's better than watching the ice melt. We fucking have it. We know when it's going to be. Joe knows when he needs to call out of work, so that's at least cool. And, yeah. And Jon Snow has a cool new beard, Joe. But I'm not alone. I have with me, of course, Joe Dirty Locks with us this evening. And, of course, I'm not alone when we have the live motherfucking chat. Yeah, what he said. We got Casey, Atheist, K Rich, Fandom, D Saint, Broke, Black Man, Cheek, we got Nancy, we got Pete Griffin, we got Daisy, we got a lot of people popping on in, but we're not just going to be talking about Game of Thrones tonight, but we will be talking about it all night. If you guys have questions or comments, or you want to share your thoughts on, now that we know the date that it's coming, we can kind of conceptualize it a little bit more, that it's going to be, 3 in April and 3 in May. It's interesting. It's going to be that quick. Now I'm starting to already get a little nostalgic about it now that we know the date. But when are we going to get the real trailer, the big trailer? This teaser was fun, and I like that they do things like this. This was kind of outside of the norm to see the three characters. It's interesting that the reunion between Jon Snow and Arya isn't in an episode. The first one that we see isn't in an episode. It's in some fictitious trailer, but still, it was cool to see them on screen together at the same time. And I thought hearing all the old characters' voices was really neat, and seeing them walk and see their own dead selves is a good precursor to where I hope this season goes. Not that I want to see everyone that we care about die on the show, Joe, but I want to see some stakes. I want to see it feel like end days here, and not just be Jon out there with a Valyrian sword killing every White Walker he faces off against. So I'm very curious. This trailer, teaser, whatever it was, even though it wasn't heavy on anything new, it definitely was the first thing that they've done this season with anything. Whether that last little bit that we got, I don't even know if you saw it. We get like 2 seconds of Dany and Jon showing up at Winterfell, and Sansa going, "Oh, Winterfell is yours." And that was it. That didn't get me hyped. That didn't get me anything. This got me hyped. This got me excited. This makes me want to jump up and down. So, yeah. Maybe just because we have a date. Let's go in the live motherfucking chat. Bloody Talker. Great to see the Bloody Talker. Great to see Casey Atheist. Great to see Dave. Joe, why don't you pour some cold water on me? So, Joe, what did you think of the little thing?
It didn't get me excited.
It didn't. You need the real trailer.
Here's the thing. I was excited because I got to see, the first new footage of them in costume for
the new season, because I'll make it clear, if it wasn't obvious, it's not. Someone asked the question. It's not new footage from any episode. This was shot very specifically. It was directed by somebody else. I'm gonna read. I have a press release from HBO that came out at the same time. HBO aired the new teaser for Game of Thrones tonight, which announced Sunday, April 14th, blah, 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 blah. The teaser was directed by David Nutter, who won an Emmy in 2015 for the episode Mother's Mercy. So this was specifically directed and filmed for this situation.
Just for teasing us. It has nothing to do with anything. Like, you're not going to see those three in a tunnel staring at their own fucking memorials.
Casey asks, is Joe suffering from depression? Brooke says, I agree with Joe. It was okay. Bran, wait.
Yeah, like
what about
you're
Bran?
Excited because it's, right. That's what I was saying. Like, I thought they were walking towards Bran at first. It was like, okay, great. Now we're going to go have them walk up to Bran.
And Bran says, now
Bran's
it's
dream or something. I don't know. Like,
now it's time to get started.
Something.
What I hope doesn't happen now, or what I think might happen. This was the Crypts of Winterfell. Are we going to get a few more? Are we going to get one from Cersei's perspective with her walking, or is the next thing that we're going to get probably going to be a trailer now?
It's going to be a trailer.
It's going to be a
real
trailer.
That's what they do. They tease and they trail.
Super Bowl? You on board? You think it's going to be the Super Bowl?
That sounds about. You don't get much bigger than something like Game of Thrones or the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. And just for whatever it's worth, they did do Westworld last year on the Super Bowl, so there is precedent for this. And this
is spending that money.
We're spending that money, and it seems like HBO is going all out. I mean, the production value of this little teaser was extremely high. I know. I can understand what you're saying, Joe. I'm getting a little bit carried away because I've been waiting for something. I've been walking through again. I reuse it over and over again. Walking through that television desert, hoping for that cracker. They gave me the cracker tonight. I just wanted to know when it was coming. And now, knowing it's April 14th, I can start to wrap my mind about it. It seems more real to me than this mysterious 3-card Monty trick of sometime in April. Like, why were they holding that over our heads? Did they want people to have to watch True Detective tonight? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what they thought. But for whatever it's worth, and I'm going to talk about True Detective this evening. I watched the first of the 2 episodes that were released tonight. I did not watch the second episode, but I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to be talking a little bit about Vikings tonight, talk about the Punisher new trailer that was released this week, and Punisher coming out January 18th. And we'll also talk about the Orville, the last 2 episodes, and 20 years later from the beginning of The Sopranos, what Joe and I's kind of overall thoughts on The Sopranos looking back on it are. So, but any questions you have in the live motherfucking chat, or anytime you're listening to this, you can call on in at 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. Share your thoughts, or jump in the live motherfucking chat right now and get it on in there, and I'll reach over, give you guys a reach around and pull on you and pull your words into the show right now. Let's see. Here we go. Nutter also did. Nutter also did that. Nutter. My Boston accent is coming out. I'm a little drugged out right now on sick pills, and so my Boston accent is coming out. Nutter. It's fucking nutter. You got to be excited, man. You got to be excited, man. Let's go. I'm excited. I am. I'm pumped. It could be the Termafluke talking, or not. But I am very excited that this is the first thing that I've heard or known about Game of Thrones season 8 that's got me excited. I haven't been following spoilers or leaks or any of that sort of shit. I haven't really seen any photos or trailers or teasers, any of the little information that's got pushed out so far. I've been somewhat reserved about, and I've been more like Joe's reaction to this. Just, okay, cool, yeah. And seeing that little scene, I was a little even salty about that when seeing the little teaser thing that we got in the HBO package. I was a little, HBO, your package is a little small. In fact, I went and I wrote a stupid parody song about my bitterness about that will be released soon. But anyways, but this actually legitimately got my television testicle boiling a little bit. I know that's disgusting, and someone out there is going, I'm turning this off right now because he said that, but I don't care. I turned it off. My television testicle percolated and got tantalized a little bit here. It did. It burned a little bit. It had me feeling, oh fuck, this is really happening, and I have a positive feeling. We talked about this before, Joe. Do you have a general positive feeling going into this final season, or are you trying to go in with as low of expectations as possible? I'm trying to keep my expectations down, but here's
the thing: you can't keep your expectations down with this show because it's so good.
Not to mention, because of the time they made us wait. I know it shouldn't be a factor. People are like, get the fuck over it. We're already here. Because of the amount of time that they made, that I feel like I'm selfish. Deal with it. I'm a selfish person. I'm a selfish entertainment consumer. I want it now. When you get me on a schedule, when I'm expecting something on a certain schedule, and then you don't feed me on that schedule, Phil become angry. It happens. And now I'm very eager, very excited to see this. I want to dance the Irish jig to every single episode, and my excitement level is hype. But again, it's that excitement level that's reached that point where you made me want it too much, and I still want it, but now I'm going to be a little bit more judgy about it. Not because because I want to be, not because I'm bumming out, just because I want it to be the fucking greatest thing in the world. So I am going in hot, Joe. I'm going in. I expect this to be the fucking shit, the best television thing I've ever seen in my life, and I want it to be. And I'm not saying it better be, because who the fuck am I? But that's how I'm going in.
Aside from that, it's Game of Thrones. How can you not expect it to be good? Like really fucking good.
Even
the worst parts of Game of Thrones are still better than most other television.
Better than 95%, better than 99% of the television not made by Vince Gilligan. The Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones at its worst is better than 90% of the television not made by Vince Gilligan. Let me go in the live motherfucking chat. People are like, oh, Phil, you're gross and sick. I don't want to hear about that. Did we already watch the trailer? I'm not gonna play the trailer on here right now simply because of video blocky bullshit YouTube reasons, but it's very easily accessible on YouTube right now. I would highly recommend quickly pausing this video and watching it. I can even share the link in the chat, which I'm going to do right now. Let me copy this shit. Let me copy this shit, paste this shit, and enter this shit. So feel free to go check that out. Oh no, I shouldn't have sent that. Wait, that's the wrong link. Don't click on that. Oh, that's personal. Oh no, that's a private video of me doing a striptease out of a Dalmatian costume to a Brady Bunch song. Okay, so anyways, Jay says, thanks for not playing the trailer. Yeah, it's just tough with that shit. Every time I play a trailer or play like a little clip for something gets blocked, and then I can't download the podcast to be able to turn it into an audio cast. It becomes just a big pain in the ass. So there's the link. Go check it out. So I'm getting nervous about season 8, that whole damn Jon and Snow and Dany thing. There's a lot to be nervous about going into this season. I can't wait till we get some real footage, Joe. So we were talking about that. So you think the Super Bowl could be a logical time for it?
Most likely, yeah. It makes a lot of sense. You're going to get the most talk about it the next day.
Yeah. I see Fury said...
Or not, because of so many other competing awesome commercials, supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, in awesome trailers. I mean, we're probably gonna get an Avengers trailer at the Super Bowl. I think it's gonna be the place. It's turning more even than the commercials to another jumping ground for the big trailers to come there. 55 days shooting a battle scene, says K. Rich. Even Dorne is better than a lot of television, because Jaime and Bronn were still relatively entertaining in that. I like season 7. It did its job, get us to Endgame. Oh, this better end well, otherwise Bernie goes to jail. Nick says, excuse me, Phil, I feel the same way. I'm excited, but it better be. Bloody says season 7 was weak. We got Sam in the live chat. I actually liked season 7. Where did I see the date? I'm not sure if they flashed it at the end, but I have a press release from HBO that says April 14th is the release date. The 6th, I'll read it one more time. HBO aired its tease for Game of Thrones tonight, which announced Sunday, April 14th as the debut date for the show's 6-episode 8th and final season. As in previous seasons, the series will air at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on HBO. The tease was directed by David Nada, who won an Emmy for the 2015 Season 5 finale, Mother's Mercy. The tease included an original score by Rabin DiGiovanni, who won an Emmy in 2018 for the Season 7 finale, The Dragon and the Wolf. Link to Game of Thrones Season 8 official teaser, Crypts of Winterfell. So yeah, so there you go. So let's keep going in the live motherfucking chat. Fandom, what is up? Oh, we got so many people in the live chat. It's great to see so many people. Jon and Arya drawing their weapons and Sansa standing back. I do wonder what was the... I mean, I know what it is. I know what it is. I don't want to say it because it's silly and it's obvious, but I wonder what the rationale for not including Bran in this teaser was. Is it simply because he doesn't walk? Is it because of, like, from a directing standpoint, like they were plotting this out and they're like, how can we have Bran involved? But they could have all been walking. You said it earlier, Joe. They could have all been. I don't want to redirect the thing because I thought it was done really well. But thinking about it Joe's middling on it. I was really fucking hyped on it. if Bran was waiting at the,
I started hyped and it finished shitty. I'm sorry, it did. Like, oh no, the frost came in. Quick, draw your sword. It's
the frost is coming, Joe. It's gonna be an X-Men battle. It's gonna be amazing. Fandom says, so the only way HBO can redeem themselves is the first official trailer has a close-up of Cersei's chest and zooms out to her sitting on the throne. The Cersei fans are a little rumbly. They want to see Cersei. I do have to say there is a wonderful, I don't know where it came out, but I saw it. I want to say I saw it on YouTube or somewhere, a behind the scenes with Cersei with Lena Headey, where she's kind of going through some stuff that was very, very fun. A good little Cersei preview. Last told the Masters Game of Thrones premiere. Hey, Paul Hassantovia. Yeah, they showed the date in the promo. He doesn't consider himself, maybe because he doesn't consider himself a Stark anymore. But neither, I guess Arya does. But yeah, maybe that's why Bran wasn't included. But I am very curious to see all of these Starks together and see the real first interaction between Jon and Arya. But it was cool to see them back together. I don't know, Joe. I could keep talking about this 3-second thing. I'm doing it. I'm doing what I hate. I want to break down. So what's the meaning behind this? Them seeing their dead bodies. Does this equal that this is?
Yeah, but see, this is it.
Is this confirmation that they're all dead this season?
It has no meaning, dude. It has no meaning because it has nothing to do with the fucking season.
It's confirmation that they die, though, right, Joe? But that's what you're saying.
This is like no better than if like Jon Snow, what's his name in real life, shows up as in a furry topped fucking cape hawking pizzas for a Domino's commercial.
It might happen.
Like, oh, what does that mean for Game of Thrones? Oh,
it means Joe. It means something.
As much as it means,
Joe. It means nothing. It means something. You don't know. You're not looking close enough, Joe. Michael says, let's be honest. Anything's better than that stunt they pulled with the melting ice for 2 hours. I would double that, and I'm sure Joe would as well. Bran was not in the crypts because there's no wheelchair ramp down there, says Icy Fury. Sam says Bran should have died when Jaime pushed him. Nick says, sorry, Sandom, but you'll always be broke to me. Bran needs a new Hodor to carry him around. He does. I mean, that's true. I mean, he does have the chair thing, but it's probably hard to get down in the crypts. And I think he was probably, I'm speculating he wasn't there simply from a filming standpoint, that they wanted to have the image of the three of them walking, and someone also said he doesn't consider himself a Stark anymore, so if he died, would he be in the crypts? And it's very interesting to think about that. Bernie says Joe is right. It's just like the Hall of Faces. All their faces were on that too. It means nothing. Brooke says, well, technically Jon Snow is dead, only alive when he's on top of Dany. No handicap access in the crypt, says Quentin.
He's a real dead fuck.
He's a real dead fuck. Quentin, great to have you on the live chat. Sam, great stuff. Casey, Atheist. There were several of those character vignettes, Phil. Blackfish tags and Sweet Robin. What? Ew, broke. Will we see Sweet Robin this season? I hope so. Stop with the Bran as the Night King on Twitter. Stop. Just stop. Stop. So I don't know. That there's only so much we can talk about this little tease. I think the most important news that came out of tonight wasn't that tease. It was Jon Snow has a new beard. Confirmation that Arya and Jon meet again. I don't know why, because we see them in a trailer together. I'm going to assume that they meet together fairly soon. And we saw Jon in the last trailer being back at Winterfell, and we know that Arya's there. So we can expect that that's going to be happening pretty early on in, I believe, like in my speculation, in the first episode, we'll see Jon and Arya back together, which is one of the reunions I'm most excited to see on any kind of Game of Thrones situation. The two characters I'm probably most excited to see together, and Bran and Jon. I'm very excited to see that combination too. So I think other than that, we know that the White Walkers are coming because the cold's coming, winter's here. You know, we know that. But the important thing that we found out is that it's April 14th. I mean, I know it's hard to really think about
Katie Crow's birthday.
We got Katie Crow's birthday, and hopefully the return of Katie Crow flying into the podcast on that night, depending, or maybe the next week, since we can't expect her to fly on her birthday, depending on what you guys' plans are that evening. But
it's Game of Thrones and then podcast.
And then it's Game of Thrones and podcast for Katie Crow's birthday. So make sure you come on April 14th to wish Katie Kuro a happy birthday. Ari is 20 now. Read the books, mofo. I would have much rather and the Frost as I'm balking on words tonight. Oh my God, if Sweet Robin is the Night King, they should include that. They should include the White and Hodor at the end. My birthday is April 7th, says the Bloody Talker. Are they going to White Hodor? It's major fan service, so they will. Great stuff going on in the live chat right now, and we're going to keep the discussion going about Game of Thrones stuff. Keep it going in the live chat. We may change subject and talk about a few other things tonight, but we will be taking Game of Thrones questions and comments all evening tonight. Your excitement about the trailer, Joe is for Joe on an excitement level about Game of Thrones. I would say you're at a super high thing, but at this point,
dude, you know what? To be honest, I'm not even like fully hopeful that it's actually going to start on April 14th.
Yeah, something's going to happen.
I saw the trailer. I know I saw the date there, but I don't believe it.
I kind of have that too, Joe, and I don't know if this was brilliance on their part making us wait this. I mean, it's definitely a special kind of torture, but this year off from having Game of Thrones after so many seasons of it in a row and getting used to this and then weaning us off it a little bit.
But do we even want it back?
No, because then it's over.
Like, are we done with it?
I mean, I think really what we're coming to here is do we even really care? Yes, we fucking care. Give me the fucking show. I want it. Joe, I want the books too. Give it to us as well. I want it all. I want it now.
Oh,
so they've damaged you. This break has hurt you. You haven't used your sexual organs for a while and everything's dried up in Joe Dirtylocks land, right? So you're worried. Are you worried how it's gonna feel? It's gonna feel strange.
I just hope it doesn't suck.
It's not gonna suck. Okay, let's get to this right now because
I'm just soured on everything because I haven't had any real good TV aside from Breaking Bad in a long time.
Breaking
Bad, Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, Ozarks was really.
That's not TV. I've come to the conclusion that Netflix and streaming television shows is not TV.
Then what's HBO? HBO's the same thing.
It's not because it's you can watch them all at once. It's a big fucking movie. It's not the same. It's just not the same.
It's not the same as
we did. Like wait a couple days between episodes so we do our show. Like
it's not the same if it's week to week, is what you're saying.
Correct.
So Joe, your
those shows made for Netflix, made for Prime, that don't drop one episode a week over 10 to 20 weeks or some shit. It's just not the fucking same.
Paul Q says I'm as bitter as Joe is right now. So Joe, you're basically at the point right now where it's been away for a while, you're not sure what to expect, and you're fearing that all this hype that's been built up within you, not because of the long wait, it's gonna disappoint you and gonna suck.
Yeah, I don't know, Phil. I think your show has ruined television for me. I start looking at everything with such more critical eye. It's hard to enjoy anything anymore.
We've ruined Joe. So I think this actually bodes well. I'm excited where your mind is. Let me spin this positive because your expectations, I think your hype has exploded to the point of assery and actually turned into lower expectations. So you're going into this low. This is interesting. I'm going into this crazy high, like really high. You're going into this kind of low, like so. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out here in this final season. Holy shit, the Bloody Talker. Place your bets. Who's the first side butthole we see? Oh, that's a good one. Let me spin the wheel for the Bloody fucking Talker. Peaky Blinders is so good. What do we do in the shadows? TV is starting soon. Joe just watched Supernatural. I'm at class kind of half full person, says Sam. Netflix has more of an institutional feeling to it than HBO, which is home box office. Cheesy Yeah, hey, Bloody Talker. We got the Huge Ding Dong in the live chat. Love your name, Huge Ding Dong. Great name. Great fucking name. Okay, Joe. So let's continue on to let's see how else we can bitter and ruin Joe on television as we shift subjects here a little bit. But again, keep things going with. Oh no, I keep avoiding what I want to talk about. So Game of Thrones is starting in April. We've got 6 weeks. Three in April. 3 in May. How do you feel about the timing of when the seasons are going to be, or that's irrelevant to you? It's irrelevant to you, right?
And the timing sucks. It should have been a year ago. What do you mean how I feel about the timing? I wish I had I want it to be the last 3 weeks in May and the first 3 weeks in April. I don't know. Is there something weird happening in those 8 weeks that I don't know about? Like,
no, I'm
Mayan calendar ending again.
I'm trying to think. Honestly, what I was implying was, is The Walking Dead going to be on at the same time as Game of Thrones? Are they going to be going up against each other?
Doesn't that come back like
February? Isn't it like February to April, or is it going to end? I'm just curious. Not that it's going to stop us from watching. We were watching Game of Thrones. I just want to see Game of Thrones crush The Walking Dead. I want to see The Walking Dead get like
on the same night.
A 1 rating. I'm not sure what the run cycle.
Try to go up against the final season of fucking Game of Thrones.
I'd love for that to happen. Wouldn't you love to see The Walking Dead get crushed like that? Wouldn't it be funny? Oh my goodness. Oh my God, you're a drip tonight.
They don't win that fight. No way.
Bernie says you're a drip tonight, Joe. Don't dodge the question.
I'm a drip tonight. I don't know. I'm drippy.
What side butthole's the first side butthole that we see in season 8? Tyrion's. We're going to see Tyrion's side butthole. Rest in peace, The Walking Dead. Oh, that's too bad. I'll miss The Walking Dead in sake of Game of Thrones. I don't know. I have to see what season are we on in The Walking Dead here? Season 8? Is that what we're on? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or is it season 9 of The Walking Dead?
The Walking Dead? Jesus, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll be back. It would serve them right. I want to see them get crushed and have it be ridiculously funny. It's gonna be, but no, I think Walking Dead probably just will have ended at that point in time. What will get you hyped, Joe? Will the trailer itself get you hyped?
Probably not.
Are you gonna? So you're not really a big trailer watcher anyway. When it comes down to it, though.
No, trailers don't do anything. I've seen so many trailers fuck up movies, and then like the movie is nothing like the trailer. That I don't. Trailers mean nothing to me.
Okay. All right. Everyone said your meds to Joe. He needs my antidepressants more than me, says K-Rich. So John and Arya and Sansa are going to die. Rest in peace, says Peter Hagen. Season 9 of The Walking Dead ends April 7th. Okay. So interesting choice then. That's a weird sort of respecty kind of no. That couldn't have been by accident. So Joe, that's going to be an interesting back and forth week where we're going to be talking. Actually, knowing that you're going to have a lot of Sundays off. That means you're probably not going to be with us for that Walking Dead season finale. And I'll have to talk about the Walking Dead season finale on that 7th, and then we'll get into Game of Thrones that following week. So they miss it by a week. See, again, fuck you, HBO. You should have had some balls and aired your season premiere on the season finale night of The Walking Dead and totally destroy their ratings for their season finale and kill their show. It's when you have your opponent down, you go no mercy, sir. Cobra Kai that shit. And fucking
I don't think here's the thing too. I don't think Game of Thrones wants to take the chance that there are loyalists out there and lose any of their numbers either.
Yeah, no one would watch the Walking Dead season finale if those two went up against each other. People would DVR, or people do that anyway. They'd watch it.
You don't want to purposely like fuck someone's finale over too.
I want that to happen. I want to see that. I would have so much. I would love HBO if they did something like that. That's like a Nintendo move. What Nintendo does to other video game people. I like that move. That's a big boy move right there. That's some good shit. Oh, we got another super chat donation from Paul Q. Paul Q, I tried to say. Thank you so much. And we got a drink, so I got a drink for the bloody fucking talker. Oh, bloody talking. Let me get another spin of the wheel.
Ooh.
Boney says, cheer up, Joe. We get to see Sansa die. That's always pretty good. Peter says, prequels will have really bad writing, in my opinion. I'll still watch that.
I'm not excited for the prequels.
For the Game of Thrones prequel series?
I don't know why I'm not so
because you're not excited about anything. Why would you be excited about it? Are you
excited about shit?
You just got over telling us that we've ruined you, that I've ruined you. Having you on this podcast has fucking ruined you. It's my fault.
I was excited for TV just this afternoon.
It was. What were you excited for?
Patriots game.
Okay, that's not TV. That's sports. It's different. Yes, it's on television, but that's not TV. They didn't
disappoint me.
Yeah, no, that game didn't disappoint you. I get it, but that's not what we're talking about here. What was the last show you were? Are you excited for? The next thing that we're going to talk about. Are you excited for Punisher season 2?
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Again, it's not really TV.
It's
Netflix.
It's not
streaming shit. So
yeah, it's a different sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn through that, Phil.
Oh,
unless we do one episode, 20 minute, one episode, 20 minutes.
Oh, we're gonna do
that
two
for a day.
We're gonna do 2 at a time. 2 at a time, prob. Oh no, or depending on the timing of it, we'll talk about that off air.
Let's just do a whole day, man. Order yourself 2 pizzas, buy a 12-pack, and we'll fucking
zippity do that, zippity yeah, that shit.
In front of the fucking tube and the computer. The computer.
Knits, have a great day. Oh, Joe, for our last super chat donation from the wonderful Paul Q, we got Joe has to do a character impression. So Paul Q in the live chat, tell us what character you want Joe to do it. Bernie, Joe needs a crack rock. Trailers have a habit of showing scenes out of context. Phil, what did the wheel land on for Bloody Spin? You have another super chat from Paul. Bloody got drink from me, and then we just got Joe character impression. Prequels. Before we get into Punisher, Joe, so you're not excited about the prequel series at all. I'm pretty excited about the prequel series because I'm curious to have some new blood working on Game of Thrones and have George back involved a little bit.
Game of Thrones.
Song of Ice and Fire television visual universe situation. So I'm excited to see more of those stories. I wish it was Dunk and Egg. A couple people have popped that in the live chat. I think that would have been the best choice. Ultimately, it wasn't, but I do think it was the best choice for something, and I hope we get to that eventually. But I am curious. I'm more excited for that than I am for, the young Aragon story, the Lord of the Rings Amazon series that I'm going to watch. That's going to be going up against. It's going to be its main competition. So
when are they doing that shit?
It's coming out around the same time. I don't know the timing, but 2020. And hopefully we will be talking about it. So cheer up, Joe. Cheer up, Joe. We got analysis of fucking Thrones in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see analysis. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Hope all is good. Bad writing means job security for Phil and Joe. Loki. I'm curious about the prequels. Not sure what to think. I would have loved to also see Robert's Rebellion. I'm excited for the prequels. Think it could be really interesting. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. I think it could be really interesting, and it could be cool to see, again, new people that could be really excited to work on a Game of Thrones package, and to see George R. R. Martin writing some more television stuff. I know people are like, keep George away from that, get him to write the books, but if he feels like he can be more part of a series again, I'm curious about it. But again, we'll be going back and forth to Game of Thrones stuff all night, but I want to get Joe's thoughts on the Punisher trailer that we watched. And again, if people haven't seen
it disappointed the fuck out of me, Phil.
Okay, Joe, let's get to it in a second here. Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Oh, it's between my legs. I don't know where it is. The Punisher trailer. So Joe, we watched that a second ago. Why did the Punisher trailer disappoint you?
I'm just upset that the bad guy from last season is your bad guy again this season.
I don't think he's the bad guy from the season, and I'm sharing the trailer link.
He was all over the trailer. Isn't that Jigsaw? Isn't that what his name is?
He was all over the trailer, but the guy that was in Westworld. But I don't think it means he's the main villain. I think there's they're
gonna do a half and half, a 5-episode build up to fight this.
No, or just I think it's more gonna be they work together against the Punisher. the new bad guy enlists his help to work against him or something. I don't know. That's the vibe. But who knows? Trailers are liars, Joe. All crows and trailers
I
are
thought he killed the motherfucker, too. Didn't he kill him?
No, I don't think so. An analysis, we do have to play some Smash Brothers real soon. I always see you online. We got to jump in the game together. The book that was promised. You also briefly mentioned something about Better Call Saul. Is that coming back for season 4 soon? They haven't announced the date yet, but they have announced, but it will be coming back for season 5, I believe now. So, okay, so the trailer aside, are you hyped for this season, though? As hyped as you get? You are? And do you think Punisher is going to be canceled a week after the season is released or 2 weeks after the season? How long before Punisher is canceled? Are we done with our review before Punisher's canceled?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably, maybe not. Maybe they announce it after they announce after Jessica Jones. They announced they're both canceled.
They're both canceled, yeah. Is there any chance that they decide to just keep the Punisher hostage and just keep making
you know what?
Punisher shows?
It's probably the best bet for them.
Yeah. I agree because it's the most non-Disney.
Yep, they can make movie
of it all and just say fuck you, Disney. This is how you. This is
only for like a series. They can't do a movie of it, but they might be able to. I don't know what their deal is, but
I See Fury says, where the fuck is Winds of Winter? Where the fuck is Winds of Winter? Dumb question, but what is the Punisher about? The Punisher is about a vigilante superhero played by Shane from The Walking Dead, and that's basically what it's about.
He punishes.
Yeah, he punishes. Okay, so Joe, I want to cheer you up. I'm gonna say some really happy news for Joe.
Yeah, right.
No, Joe. I'm gonna play your little.
I know that tone of voice, Phil.
No, Joe. You're gonna be happy about this one. Let's. There's no sadness. I'm just.
Shut the fuck up, Joe.
No. Okay. I got to. It's a happy day for Joe, who more than anything is my shit buddy.
Oh.
You are, Joe.
Don't have to worry, get your shit.
This is a happy announcement for Joe. Sad for some people, mad for others. Joe, I know it's been announced on a couple of weeks ago on the most recent Sunday Night Live. Joe, it was announced that you have retired from Vikings. You're all done. You're giving me your knit Viking hat because you don't want it anymore. You're done. You're retired.
No, I'm keeping my hat.
Oh, you're keeping your hat.
Keeping my Ragnar book.
What an asshole. No. You gotta give me that shit. That's what needs to happen. No, but they've announced it, Joe. I think as someone heard you say that, and it's sad news. Vikings has announced that season 6 next season will in fact be the final season of Vikings.
So it's over, man. It's been over since they fucking let Ragnar walk away.
Let Ragnar walk away? You think they could have kept him alive forever? They needed to. Joe, how do you?
You're right. It's been over since they cast fucking.
Are you sad, Joe?
Kid.
Oh, it's been over.
This kid sucked, really. Honestly.
Okay, you're talking about Ivar. Big Kev. Holy shit, Big Kev with the super chat donation. The North remembers. I hope we get to see John without his shirt on. He's got purty hair and a purty mouth. Remember, The Walking Dead is next month. Joe, are you excited? Are you excited for The Walking Dead next month? No, Joe's screaming. Just talking about it makes Joe tired.
I am excited for The Walking Dead next month.
Spin of the wheel for Big Kev, motherfucker. Spin of the wheel. Spin of the fucking wheel. Bam, motherfucker. Here we go. So Bloody Talk, a serious question. Would Game of Thrones be better without the White Walkers? Like just a story about families fighting over control of Westeros. Not much of the story would be changed up until season 7. Joe, would Game of Thrones be better without the White Walkers and just the story of the politics of Westeros?
Well, if that's what you want, then watch like The Tudors or watch Rome or watch like there's a lot of shows like that already. What's the other one with the Pope guy there? I forget that show. That was a pretty good one too.
I say,
yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you're into, I guess. I like the White Walkers, dragons, all the fantasy shit. But one of the things that when people tell me, they go, "Oh, I don't like dragons and fantasy shit," and I'm like, dude, man, it's such a little part of Game of Thrones until like the late seasons here that you pretty much get what you're saying
in the first
like,
3 seasons of Game of Thrones,
right.
It's very, very minor, and even in the books, it's even less with the White Walkers.
Right.
It's just
very, very small.
It's just whispers and stuff. Now, House of Thrones, but at the same time, Hardhome was so unreally good. Great to see. Oh,
Hardhome is one of the best fucking. Hardhome is one of the best episodes ever. I love that fucking.
Yeah,
I love that episode.
And when the whole series is done, we're gonna put out a video or a live podcast where we probably do our top 5 or top 10 favorite episodes, and I'm sure Hardhome would be very high on the list for both of us. I don't like the show because Joe likes it, says French Canadian Jason. He's like, anything that Joe likes, he hates. Joe's been trying to kill Jason for years, so Jason keeps coming back, and it's a vicious cycle between Joe and Jason. It's dangerous shit. Dangerous shit. Dangerous shit. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my goodness. So Joe, Vikings season 6 will be the last one. We'll get 20 more episodes of Vikings.
Thank God.
Thank God. My question to you is if somehow, and this isn't any spoilers because nothing's happened, if somehow that little problem that you have with Vikings is finished with by the end of this season, does that bring you back to Vikings for the final season?
No, probably not.
Probably not. Not anytime soon.
Nah, man,
you have no curiosity where the show ends up.
I know where it ends up. It ends up with Brexit.
Mm. So I do think you're missing some good stuff this season, but I don't want to get too much into it. So in case you watch it at some point in time, but there is some really cool stuff happening in these last few episodes of Vikings this season. But I know you can't get past your rational hate for Ivar.
I can't.
No,
I can't.
It's impossible.
I can't.
It's impossible. So keep the other magic, but the White Walkers are not great, says Sam. What are you doing? What are you doing at Corner Gas Special? I agree, Bloody Talker. I'm not a fan of the White Walkers. Oh, I said no White Walkers. Big difference. Just no White Walkers. Everything else, all that other cool magic and blood magic and dragons are fine. So I want to talk a little bit. I'm gonna take over for a few seconds here and let Joe take a little bit of a break, and then we're gonna.
Are you doing? Well,
yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about True Detective. If you want to take a quick break and come back, and then we'll talk.
I'll be back in a minute.
We'll talk. Look how quick. That's the most Joe.
Here's the thing.
That's the most excited Joe's been on this podcast in months.
No, the reason why I'm going to leave while you do this is because I really want to see this season of True Detective. I watched the first 2. I really loved the first one. I didn't dislike the Vince Vaughn one.
Oh, dude, it sucked. It was horrible.
It wasn't awesome.
Dude, it was horrible.
It wasn't the first season, that's for sure.
Dude, it was horrible.
And I was almost done with it before.
Dude, it was an assload of crap. Okay, but anyways, okay.
They're all so different. There's all different actors, directors, and shit, and producers. Run for shows. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
so I don't want it spoiled.
Yeah. Run, Forrest, run. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Okay, so now that guy's gone. Holy shit! Can you believe it? The fucking we got a teaser. It was awesome. No, but I am really excited about the teaser. Vikings finishing is a bummer, but I think it's finishing at a good point in time in this these the show isn't what it was, and it shouldn't drag on too much longer, even though I do still like it. But what I do want to talk about now that Joe's gone is talk a little bit about True Detective. Now, this isn't going to be a full recap or review. It's going to be more of some quick thoughts. I didn't watch both episodes. I did watch the first episode, and I do have some thoughts on it so far. Let me go. Let me kick in the live chat. You rock. Great show, gents. You're awesome. French Canadian Jason. Good to see everyone. The theme song was the only thing going on good in season 2. Okay, season 2 of True Detective. Season 3 of True Detective starts off with a theme song that reminded me of the theme song of a Wire season. It wasn't the Wire song, but it kind of gave you that feel right from go. And right from the start of this season, when we break into it, I was like, this is much better. Within the first 2 minutes of this episode, I thought to myself, this is much, much better than season 2. And whether it's better than season 1 will be left up in the air. But for the most part, if you dug season 1 of True Detective, in the pacing of it, the slow plotting pacing of it, someone telling a story, shift in time perspectives, 3 different time periods got shifted throughout time, someone telling a story. It had all of that. It was layered. It was cast well. It was acted well. And I'm going in cautious. And again, I only saw the first episode, but it was creepy where it needed to be creepy. And it was effective, and I think reintroducing you to the brand and being like, yeah, this is what this show should be. Because it felt like I was watching True Detective again. Whereas in season 2, for whatever, if people think it was all right, and people meaning Joe, if he thinks it's all right, that's fine. It was okay, whatever. It wasn't True Detective. I mean, it was. Yeah, it was. There's 3 seasons of True Detective, and 1 is that. So it is True Detective by definition. But it didn't feel like it. It felt like something else. It felt like a parody of itself almost at times. At least to me. I mean, mileage is different for other people. This felt like the genuine thing. This felt like another take on that kind of story. The acting was spot on. The casting, I'm blanking on the actor's name, but he was Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, and was also Remy in House of Cards. And he's been like so many stuff. The first thing I ever saw him in was the 4400, but he's been in tons of shit, and he's really good playing himself in many different time zones. He's in a lot of different time zones. He's in 3 different time periods, so he's playing 3 different ages of himself. And he does it extremely well. It's a very good performance, and it hooked me. It hooked me. I don't know if it's going to hook me long term. It seemed like it did what it needed to do in that first episode to make me go, okay, True Detective is actually back, and this is going to feel like a True Detective season, and I'm interested to see where the story goes forward. It focuses on, I don't even talk too much about the details of it, because either you don't give a shit, which is cool. Either you don't give a shit, which is perfectly cool. You're like, can we get back to talking about Game of Thrones, asshole? Or potentially you want to watch it at some point in time, and True Detective is one of those shows that is most important that you follow it. I will say that, again, similar to some other shows, similar to something like The Wire, again, to make another comparison to it, it's not a show I would suggest watching if you're at all tired. You have to be locked in. It has a certain pacing to it, you know? And if you're not in that zone, it can lull you a little bit. So it's important that when you're watching it, you're at your most television alert, if that makes sense. Let's go. I haven't started True Detective yet. Going to hop off for a bit as well to avoid spoilers. I'll most likely be back. If not, love everyone. No spoilers here. I'm talking as generally as humanly possible. The theme song was the only good thing. It really was. see you guys soon. Thank you so much for popping on in here live, motherfucking chatters. So, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about this episode because, and again, I didn't see the second episode and 2 were released tonight. But I am excited now to see this season where going in, I was a little scared. When you only come in with something like True Detective Season 1 is very good. At least for me, it's very good. And you come into Season 2, which was a disappointment, and Season 2 was in 2015 or 16, so it's been a while. And then to have this long break and maybe think that the show is never going to come back, and then to finally come back with another season, it better have been good. Again, not mean to throw all these expectations on things, because who the hell am I to give anybody expectations? I mean, these people are working to get paid to make television shows. But once I heard the pedigree of the people working on this show, I believe it's one of the directors from Better Call, a couple of episodes of Better Call Saul, and someone that worked through Ozark Season 2 had a connection to working on this season of True Detective. So far, so good. And it's many dream sequences with music overlays. No, it's so I was just trying to scare you, Joe. So yeah, all I was saying, I didn't give any spoilers, and I'm gonna kind of drop it right now. All I basically said was I felt like, I know you like Season 2, but I feel like Season 2 at times felt like a parody of Season 1 and not like a real thing. This to me, and after one episode, at least feels, whether you're going to like it or not, is your mileage will differ. But it felt like you were actually watching True Detective again. It felt a little bit more like I was watching the first season. HBO needs to stop it with these long breaks between seasons. Ghost Wolf cannot wait for Season 8 to begin April 14th. We actually have a clock now. Tickety motherfuckity talk. And Joe, now that I have you back, I know this is weird. We didn't pre-plan this, but there's a lot of talk this month about HBO with The Sopranos. They're putting a big rollout on their streaming services and everywhere. I think giving you free access on Amazon Prime to watch Season 1 right now. And there's all this shit because it's the anniversary, 20 years since the premiere of The Sopranos. Around that time, I think it's been around 20 years is all the shit. Now, overall, looking back after all the television that we've had, coming through the Breaking Bads, the Better Call Sauls, I know it's tough being the first one or one of the first ones in this thing. In going through Game of Thrones, the good years of Vikings. How do your opinions of The Sopranos change after all this time, or do you still view it in the same way? And
still one of the best shows on television that television has ever produced. It's still 20 years after its premiere episode. It's still one of the top television shows that should be in everybody's probably top 5 list of television shows. If you watched it, you know how good it was. If it's not your genre of you don't like mobster shit, then all right, I understand it's not in your. But if you're a TV fan and you watch all sorts of genres of everything, which I think we kind of do. We span a gambit of shit between the two of us.
Yeah,
that we like and don't like. That it's one of the best shows that television has ever come out with. Ended on a shitty note.
I was just about to ask you about that. What are your opinions of the ending? I personally, I'm not as sour on the ending as a lot of people are, but
I'm not either. But it wasn't my favorite way that I would never have chosen that for the ending of it if I was running shit. But I don't run that shit because I probably wouldn't do it well. In spite of how all my many,
in spite what alcohol. This isn't The Walking Dead we're talking about here. You can't write it better.
Yeah, just because I know what's bad doesn't mean I know how to write good. Just because I know writing some shows are bad or episodes are bad or whatever doesn't mean I know how to write anything.
But I think the Sopranos was in a difficult spot because they never really had like a complete narrative that was going through. I mean, they more had every season had a different thing that was happening. So I mean, they had that New York storyline in the final season, but that couldn't have really just ended the storyline either. Tony had this court case that was coming up, so there were a lot of things in flux. I always thought The Sopranos was just going to end with Tony walking out and picking up his paper and walking back into his house, looking both ways and thinking he was always in danger, seeing a car roll by. And it's almost similar to how it did end that I thought it was going to end, but instead of the weird ambiguity with the cut and all of that shit, which I think was purposely done. Okay. Let's get into this right now. Spoiler alert for The Sopranos if you've never seen it. We're going to get into the debate right now, once and for all here. Now, The Sopranos, if people haven't seen the end of The Sopranos, or they're like, Phil, I don't give a fuck, whatever you're talking about, I'm going to simulate, if I can here, the end of The Sopranos. I don't have the song Don't Stop Believing, but we'll pretend with Don't Stop Believing with I don't even know, with this song right here. So the music's playing. Now all the family members walk in. No, whatever. Like it's hard to explain. Everyone's sitting in a room or sitting in a diner eating. They're listening to some music, and each member of the family walks in as the bell rings. And we cut to his daughter, who's parallel parking, and then she comes in the door, and Tony the whole time is looking around, and there's this one guy sitting at the bar with a members only jacket looking at him, giving him a weird look. And earlier in the season, Tony mentions and says something to Bobby Bacala, says to him, when you die, it just goes to black. Anyways, when Meadow is about to come in the door, this song Don't Stop Believing's playing, and eventually the whole screen just cuts to black and stays to black. No music for 30 seconds after they're wrestling for some onion rings. I might have paraphrased it a little bit, and then it ends, and the debate is the members only jacket guy goes to the bathroom, and then you don't see him again. The speculation is, with some people, is that Tony got killed right there. That in the time that Meadow was right when Meadow comes through the door at that point in time, why it cuts like that is because the whole show is in Tony's perspective. And in that moment when Tony gets killed, everything cuts, and that's the end of the series. And some people think it was just cuts because every life goes on, and Tony's always in fear right now, and that's what it's like to be Tony Soprano. Every second could be the second that you die, because in his life he's either going to go to jail or he's going to die. So it can be looked at in either perspective. Joe, do you have a strong feeling either way?
No.
And that no, I'm not.
Whatever you want to have happen happens, but like I say, if it doesn't happen on screen, it didn't happen.
So you tend to believe that if you're gonna have a dog in that fight, you would say Tony would have been alive.
Tony's still eating fucking onion rings.
He's still eating gabagool and onion rings. I tend to think that David Chase was being cute, realistically speaking, because he wanted to leave it open to possibly do a movie later on, The Trial of Tony Soprano, or he wanted to leave it open to have him die if they never did anything. And unfortunately, of course, because James Gandolfini passed, the movie will never happen like that. That movie will never happen. And it makes a lot more sense to say David Chase will say that he meant for him to die. But I think David Chase realistically was trying to have his cake and eat it too there, and have an ending that, and also give everyone a little bit of a fuck you, because that's the kind of artist he is. He's a little bit of he wants to get the fans and then fuck with you a little bit. So I think there was a little bit of he knew everyone was expecting something to happen, so he wanted to fuck with expectations a bit. Ghost Wolf says Soprano ending was god awful and a complete fucking cop out. Another showing behind, but I don't mind the spoilers. Overrated, says Mike. Mike, that car That card for that show looked great. A bunch of fat Italians eating pasta and shooting other Italians, plus therapy sessions. That's The Sopranos. I see furious with The Sopranos ending was not as bad as the Saint Elsewhere one. Oh, Saint Elsewhere one. We can talk about that for a quick second too, Joe. Do you have any ones that stand out? Saint Elsewhere is one. I like the Newhart finale, which was a similar one, but I actually enjoyed that one, obviously. But I think the worst finale that I'll go to is How I Met Your Mother. I think How I Met Your Mother was, even though that might not be a show for everybody, and some people might be like, you like that sitcom, fucking lovey, romantic crap shit. How I Met Your Mother, for 95% of that show, was really good. The finale of that show sucked donkey balls in so many ways. Like,
it ruined. I can't even watch reruns of that anymore because of the way that ended.
It's not,
I really can't.
Not to mention,
absolutely zero replay value for me.
Not to mention the girl that they cast, and some people might know the girl that they cast as the mother was also in that amazing Black Mirror Star Trek episode, but she was cast as the mother on How I Met Your Mother, and she was excellently cast. She had chemistry with Ted. It actually worked out, and the way that they handled that situation was a colossal big giant fart, right down to the fucking stupid makeup and spray shit that they gave Ted that looked like from a junior high school play, when they should have just had Saget at the end if you were going to do Old Man Ted. It looked like he was doing a junior high school play with fake makeup on of Our Town or something. It just looked horrible, and it deballed the whole situation. Fuck you, fuck that. It was awful. Mel says, me either, Joe. I can't, it's hard for me too. I still will watch the reruns sometimes if it's just on the television. I won't actively turn it off, but I'll never watch the series again all the way through. That's for sure. Newhart finale was great, says Antovia. Sopranos Vegas Vacation. I thought the Newhart one was really good too. I thought that was a good finale. I think the Wonder Years finale was kind of a disappointment with the voiceover. Quantum Leap finale also was a disappointment. Another one simply because it got canceled and we got that stupid Sam leaped forever shit at the end there where he should have finally leaped home. For fuck's sake, give Sam a fucking break. The Quantum Leap finale pissed me off. And a lot of finales in a certain age, like this is where we get into our Joe and I, the old men going through the snow to work. In our age, this still happens with TV, but now there's so many. If a TV show ends, it gets brought back on a different network. So that's happens so much. There's petitions and shit. There's some cases where it's not going to happen, like with Daredevil, but right now Vincent D'Onofrio is organizing. There's this whole big thing about we need to see Vincent D'Onofrio play the Kingpin again, and Vincent D'Onofrio's like leading the charge. He's like, hell yeah, we do. But he loves playing it. He's like, yeah, we do. Come on, he loves the outcry, but all I'm saying is now it's more possible. At the time, like when you watched the show back then, first of all, if you missed it when it aired, you'd have to wait till it was on reruns 6 months later to recatch an episode. If you didn't catch it, or rent it at the store if they had the TV show, and then most times these shows would be canceled in awkward times, and you wouldn't get closure to the series. And Quantum Leap was the perfect example where it ends on such a fart of a note.
Murphy Brown got closure.
Sopranos season 3 resurrects Soprano versus Predator. I hated it at first, but I appreciate it now, and is happy that we didn't see Tony Soprano die. That would have hurt. I love living in denial and pretending he's still alive, says Booney. Good enough. Good evening, Big E. Great to see you. I saw a 20-year-old Soprano cast reunion clip on YouTube. It is worth watching. I will definitely watch that. Dexter wins for hack endings. Joe, did you watch Dexter?
Awful.
I didn't watch Dexter. Talk a little bit about the Dexter ending. I don't mind being spoiled.
It was just awful, dude.
Awful.
How
do you... Okay, let's get into it now. And I know Joe's like, let's get into it. Let's get into it because I'm bitter towards it to a certain extent, but maybe not as much as some. Is Lost in consideration for the worst ending?
How the fuck would I know?
So you never finished Lost? You only
finished the first season and watched the first episode of season 2.
I remember now. Okay. So people that have watched,
it's gonna just be more disappointing after disappointment after disappointment.
People that made it through,
disappointed.
People that made it through Lost. Is Lost in consideration for one of the worst endings of all time?
Shows, just shows, just
Oh, come on.
awful.
You don't think that first season was good TV?
First season was great.
So,
it.
by definition, if a show has at least one good season, it can't be complete shit, right?
No, it can't.
It can.
It absolutely can. Season 1 of Heroes was great.
But so the whole series wasn't shit. It ended up on shit. I try to, with shows like that, I guess I try to judge the show on the individual seasons, where I don't know. I guess I have different feelings about Lost. I think Lost is mostly some shit, but has some good moments throughout, except for in that final season. That final season is dog shit for the most part.
The shit of a dog.
My friend saw the finale when it airs, and they thought the TV cut out short. Talking about the Sopranos one, I bet a lot of people did. They tapped on the TV. What about the Lost finale? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I would say thumbs down on the finale. I think it could have ended in a lot of better ways. I'm not as outraged by it as some of the people were, but I didn't watch it as it aired. I binge watched the series much later, and I think when you binge watch series, you're a little bit more forgiving of crap than when you watch it when it airs. And I think that goes to what Joe was saying earlier about how Netflix series aren't necessarily the same thing, because when you binge watch something, you just watch it in a different way. You tend to minimize those episodes that don't matter as much, or that build world building episodes. They just absorb into you, and you don't remember it, and you kind of remember just the highlight points of the season. Whereas if you watch something week to week and you wait and you wait and you wait, and then you get a character building episode or a plot moving episode, you're like, oh, I waited a week for this. And it's disappointing. And I think that's one of the weird transitions that's happening in television in general right now, with show like Vikings, for instance, for good or for bad, where it's filming itself like a long form Netflix season, but it's still airing week to week. So sometimes you get episodes that are just moving the plot along. So a couple more things, and then we'll call this an evening, Joe. One more thing that I think you're excited about. We came back a couple weeks ago. We came out.
We haven't talked about Orville yet.
I'm talking about that right now. We came back and we talked about the Orville season premiere, which I think both of us, Joe was a little bit lower on it than I was, but I think both of us were a little, it seemed like a mid-season skippable episode from last season. I didn't get confirmation of this, but I do think it was a extra episode from last season. In the 2 Thursday episodes were the first 2 filmed for season 2 episodes. And I will say these first 2 episodes, specifically the second one, Home, the one where, spoiler alert, Alara leaves the show, was exceptionally well. That episode of Home might have been the best Star Trek episode in 20 years, since Deep Space Nine. It had
2 Voyager.
No, it had Voyager and Enterprise Doctor. It had it was so well done, Joe. It's that, like, what the fuck's going on with that show? Like, what did Seth luck out on?
I don't know, but I love it. It also had I think Warburton played the Elephant Man.
Yeah. yeah. Putty, is that the Tick?
Putty, yeah.
Putty.
The Tick. Cool, man. Sick. Yeah. What is that?
They have him, and they give Norm Macdonald like one line, which is perfect too. The show continuously blends that humor that it's almost. I'm not even going to say it's Seth MacFarlane humor. He's able to craft his humor in a different tone. It almost comes off more Mel Brooksian than Seth MacFarlane humor, and it's more Star Trek. It's Star Trek Next Generation. Can we cut through the bullshit already? They have fucking data. They now know it. It's not even fucking around. It's Data, Worf, fucking. There's the pilots are the pilot and the engineer are the only ones that are sort of. They're more the Mel Brooksian characters.
I love the pilot.
The pilot.
I think he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's great. He is great, dude.
He's like, you know what, Captain. They're like, this place is so beautiful. It's, places like this, that really make me feel like
Like
trash.
trash.
My whole family is trash.
Everything is trash. I like him because he seems like just a real person in a lot of ways. And I gotta say, in this final episode, this home episode, Seth MacFarlane, this was some of the best acting he's ever done. He sort of melted into the part. When the whole series started, and this is coming from somebody, and I know other people are, and this is very subjective shit.
Everybody hates him so much. I like him.
It's not that I hate him. I don't find any of the Seth MacFarlane shows funny anymore. Like some of the early Family Guy stuff is funny, but the joke wore out on me a little bit, and I never really loved American Dad or Ted's pretty funny, but again, it's a lot of recycled season 1 Family Guy jokes. And 50 Ways from the West is horrible, or whatever that movie is.
Yeah, that movie did not.
It's not that I have anything against him. I'm just it's never just clicked with me. It wouldn't be in the top of my list of.
I love American Dad and Family Guy.
I think
I love American Dad.
I love highlight reels of it, but I don't necessarily watch it. You know, like if you put on an episode, I would enjoy it and laugh, but I would never really turn it on myself. If that makes sense, it's just one of those things.
Oh, yeah.
So going into this, I was so. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? And then even in the first couple of episodes of the first seasons, I was like, it's great, but couldn't he have like let someone else play the captain and he could have been a bartender or something? And I gotta say, going into season 2, he seems a lot more relaxed. He seems like he's in the part. He mixes with the cast really well. And yeah, the cast is chemistry. It's not Galaxy Quest. You know, like Galaxy Quest is Galaxy Quest. This doesn't feel like this. This feels like Star Trek: The Next Fucking Generation. The joke with a slightly more realistic tone or humor or slightly more comedic tone to it. I love this show, Joe. I fucking love The Orville.
I'm with you, Phil. I'm all in. I'm all in.
You know nothing, John Trailer. STD on the 17th. I'm excited about STD too for a different way. The Ferengi looks like Alfred E. Newman. Battlestar Galactica ending sucked too. Whatever happened
Yes,
was.
It did. It really did.
Was it bad?
Yeah.
Watch Buster Scruggs. I did watch Buster Scruggs. I liked it. I like some of the little vignettes better than other ones. I think my favorite one was the first one. I think a lot of the other ones were good, but my favorite one was the first one. It was cool.
It was a slow movie too. It's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah, definitely not. Did you get a chance to watch the interactive Netflix game thing there yet, Joe?
With Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, it is it Cumberbatch? No, it is the kid. It's the kid from. It's so funny that you call him Cumberbatch. It's the kid from Dunkirk.
Bandersnatch, that thing.
Bandersnatch, yes.
No.
Did you try Bandersnatch yet?
No.
It's Telltale-y. It's like a low grade Telltale game.
Yeah, I haven't done
Yeah,
it yet.
you know, let me know. Yeah, it's fun. It's generally fun. I watch. It's. Have you played the game yet, Joe? It's good.
I'm just pissed I'm not getting another Game of Thrones episodes from Telltale, so I'm like kind of like all set with any of these fucking.
It sucks.
Choose your own adventure shit.
Dude, it really sucks. We needed closure for the Forrester family to swing this back in at the end. But yeah, last note on Orville. If you like Star Trek: Next Generation and for some reason you haven't given this show a shot, it's very like the music. I swear they just play music from Star Trek Next Generation. They have Data is on the ship. Data with a slight more attitude. A combination of Data and lore is on the ship. Fucking Cassidy Yates is the Doctor. Unfortunately, I do want to talk about this a little bit here. One of my favorite characters is leaving the show. Or has left the show. Alara is gone.
Who left?
Last episode,
you said a real name.
Alara, yeah, her I forget her Mackenzie something is her real name, but
is she coming back at all? You think?
As of now, no. I know a slight spoiler for the Orville. I guess I will say it now for whatever it's worth, or the speculation from some set leaks that I've heard that in fact they are replacing her with another like a friend of hers from the same planet that's going to be joining the cast because she's going to decide to stay on her planet.
Why?
Because okay, these are the rumors, only rumors, no whatever. There's rumors that she doesn't get along with the rest of the cast as well off set, and
Really?
and her and Seth have some issues. None of that is corroborated. I'm reporting secondhand information from
Variety, TMZ, what?
from a YouTube channel video that I was watching about Orville leaks. That's it. I'm trying to remember the channel name just to give credit. I think it's called Talking Orville, I believe, is the name of the channel. To give full credit. And I guess a quick pub to that channel if you want some behind.
So all the other cast members thought she was a bitch.
Or she thought, or whatever. I don't know. There's.
She thought everybody else were bitches.
Exactly. Or her and Seth didn't get along for some reason. Or she wanted to leave Tasha Yar start. Realistically, maybe she just wanted to leave because she got another job. Who knows?
Okay.
So
I wish they keep Patrick Warburton as the security chief.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he sticks around. So people said, Night Fellas, on a side note, AFC Championship, Tom fucking Brady, do your fucking job next week.
Yeah, dude.
And yes, football game happened today to date us a little bit. And today is an exciting day for Joe. The New England Patriots won today. You happy you enjoyed that game, Joe? That was good for your day off to have that game going on?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Did you sleep through it, or were you able to be up during it?
How did you know?
Because if you're awake, you probably would have texted me at some point during that.
Yeah, no, I saw the first 5 minutes, then like passed out for maybe a quarter. Saw the third touchdown, then woke up and I saw the third touchdown. Then I woke up at halftime, and then I saw the last quarter.
Joe, football's the devil's game, Bobby Boucher. Don't.
Oh yeah, it's the devil.
Is the devil. The watch out, Bobby Boucher. Okay, so let me get some music here. Here we go. Let's put this here. So what did we learn tonight here, folks? We watched the Game of Thrones trailer, and we found out that Game of Thrones is coming back on April 14th. I am fucking hyped as shit to finally have a date, and I'm going to get all into this crap, and hopefully we'll have a real trailer coming out soon, or perhaps before we get the trailer we might get some images released. I'm trying to remember the order of business the last time this show, it's been so long, back with season 7. I want to say we got the quick little glimpse in the HBO package piece that we got, then we got a teaser, then we got some images, then we got the trailer. I feel like that's
images. I don't care about any of this other shit.
I care about images. Images are cool. I hope we get some episode 1 leaked pictures.
Wait, images and pictures, they could come from any fucking season. How are you gonna know? Really? How are you gonna fucking know?
You can know. You can see things. You can see things you've never seen. Nancy Negative over here.
It's like, oh, we cut this out of episode 4. Nobody's seen it. Put it up there. Image release.
If Joe needed to ask Phil a question, no need to text. Just look down in the bottom bunk. Just call down to his mom's basement. Not yet. I'm not living at Joe's house quite yet. Well, it's maybe one day. We don't know that. Perhaps I'll be sitting in his basement one time. Here we go. Look into the theory that Littlefinger might still be alive. Littlefinger's still alive? Wait. By Joe's thing, we saw him die, right? There's a Littlefinger's alive theory? I don't know about that. I want pics. Pics or it didn't happen. I want the trailer. I want the trailer first, but I want anything. I'm ready to go downhill right now. Give me some pics. Give me some trailers. Give me everything. I want to give me your shit now. I want it. Give it to me. Give me your sandwiches. True Detective Season 3 is back. I say after watching one episode of it, give it a try if you like Season 1 and Season 2 didn't tickle your television fancy. I think it feels good. Joe is dancing the Irish jig because Vikings is finishing after Season 6.
That was never going to last much longer. Man, they fucked up casting, and they fucking know it, and they know it now.
You're not going to watch the Ivar spin-off series when it happens, Joe? I'm kidding. But definitely make sure you tune in this Wednesday to watch me recap the third to last episode of season 5 of Vikings. We also learned that Joe and I will be talking about Punisher at some point. We don't know if we're going to just binge watch the series and talk about it all in one shot, or binge watch it in a day and then do one giant podcast.
I think we should do that. For the fans would love every hour a 20-minute.
Oh, that
minute episode
recap.
See,
I didn't know that's what you meant. I thought you meant I'd rather do something like where we both binge it in one day and then we just do the podcast afterwards.
Okay, that's good.
The 20 minutes, you're telling me after every episode you're gonna have to start it up and do a 20-minute podcast and start it up and do a 20-minute podcast.
I mean, it's a whole day event.
Yeah, a whole day event. I think it would only work as if we just started a stream and you came here and we just watched it all and never shut off the stream.
We would just be talking through the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, or sleeping.
Right. Pass out with Lotus.
Oh, there would definitely be passing out going on. Or probably not, because it would have to be down here, and there isn't a couch down here, so we'd be sitting on the floor or sitting on very uncomfortable chairs. So passing out would be difficult. But we are getting older, so the older you get, the easier it is to pass out in odd situations.
On the couch, period.
Yeah. Greg says, can't wait to see Bran's powers. Yeah, Ragnar fell out. It's still decent, though. That's where I am with Greg. It's not perfect, but without Ragnar, it's not the show it was.
Even close to good. Never mind perfect.
Oh, my goodness. Can't wait to see Bran's power. I can't wait to see Bran, too. He's an X factor, and it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Joe, I hear what you're saying. It will never be that show again. It's a different show. The pilot where we got the three brothers hanging out, that was the beginning of this new era of Vikings. And Ragnar carried through for a little bit. And you're right. It all came down to casting. Either you're going to feel Ivar or you're not. In this era, this group, whether it ends in this final season 5 and then season 6 is a new group and we finish it off with a new group of Vikings with maybe a couple carryovers. This era, this group of 2 seasons essentially has been all about Ivar. I mean, there's other things that are important, other characters that are important, especially this season, but last year and into the beginning half, if you're not feeling Ivar, I can hear you how it could be nails across a chalkboard for you. I feel Ivar a lot more than you. I don't think he's Negan. I think he's his own character. I think he has a lot more subtlety to him. But I totally can't argue with you about this one because I could see how Ivar could be nails across a chalkboard if you're not feeling it.
He's fucking awful, dude.
Ivar should have been played by Jack Black, says Mike. Santovia says, Mike, yeah, Ragnar's death really should have really hurt the show. They should have framed out Vikings so that the final episodes were Ragnar dying, where Ragnar died with 5 episodes left to go in the entire series, and just spaced it out a little bit differently. There's so many times that maybe they don't, maybe they do, that they wish they probably could have not done a time jump when they did a time jump early on and could have extended Vikings. Where Ragnar could, people that say Ragnar needed to die because they fast forwarded time so much on Vikings. And I love Vikings, but in the early on in those Ragnar years, as good as they were,
10 years at one point,
they would just skip time like it was no one's business. Yeah, it was like fuck 10 years. Fuck 10 more years. Fuck. Let's just, like, they could have taken their time a lot more to preserve the Ragnar story and made this the Ragnar story, but they wanted to make it a wider, bigger story. So anyways, Joe, thank you for joining me tonight. We'll get Joe back in 2 weeks for the next Sunday Night Live with Joe, and and also Vikings, and we'll see about Joe catching up on some True Detective at some point too. And
talk a little bit about the Patriots going to the Super Bowl.
we'll see about that when we get to that point, because maybe if the trailer comes out on the Super Bowl, we'll do a we'll live stream that night after the trailer comes out and break them shits down.
I won't know unless the Patriots make it to the Super Bowl. So.
Oh, that's bullshit. You're watching it either way. But Joe, if you haven't already, everybody, and you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, share the channel with a friend, help us grow as we push towards the beginning of Game of Thrones season. Also, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at TheIssuesGuy on YouTube, and give us some star ratings and likes and all that sort of crap. You want to get a couple podcasts and extra little content? Think about joining our Patreon stuff. You can see that in the description box below. All the other ways you can help us. Appreciate all of our super chat donators tonight, and all the silly motherfucking chatters and our texters for making the show even more fun.
Oh, yeah.
And even though Joe wasn't quite as excited, he's excited for Game of Thrones, but
Am I, Phil?
you're scared. I think you're scared more.
I am scared. That's the thing. I think you're right.
I think
about
you're
that.
scared. I think you're a scared, as they say in Boston.
I think that's exactly what it is. I don't want it to be bad so bad. I don't want it to be so bad.
Yeah. Joe's a scared. It's okay, Joe. It's okay, Joe. I'll guide you through it with positivity. Just follow me, my friend. I'll be your shit buddy. Hold my hand. I will guide everyone through. It's going to be a positive experience. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Also, upcoming soon. It's going to be a long time coming because I've been wanting to do this. But I See Fury, one of our motherfucking live chatters, has requested an amazing thing, and I'm going to do this. It's first going to be available to the patrons, and then we're going to make it available to everybody at some point. But I'm going to be doing a big, long breakdown of the Godfather series. I know some people are like, ugh, the Godfather. But yeah, I feel like people have been down on the Godfather. I know, let's see, Joe, you don't have to be a part of it. You're not big on the Godfather?
Awful.
Oh, we're going to talk about all three of them. Joe, you want Joe? I will try to get Joe in on this. It's going to probably be a pre-recorded thing. Maybe we'll do a live stream on it. But it's going to be fun. So keep an eye out for that coming out soon. And yeah, I feel like I need to play the music again. I don't like shutting things off. It's a weird thing. It's a weird sort of situation. But yes, Game of Thrones, April 14th, Joe. I'll see you April 14th. And happy birthday, Katie Crow.
You'll see me before April 14th.
Oh no, I might even see you. Oh, well, I'll talk to you about this off the air. I'll see you soon. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, I'll see you often. I'll see you all over the place. No, and I'll talk more about The Godfather when we get down to it. But it's a different kind of movie compared to.
I like the first one and the second one.
Yeah, but they're long form. Anyways, I will talk to you guys next time. Thank you. Peace.